Hello everyone, myself Orko Jyotide, and in this video we are going to solve a LeetCode question medium level, that is 3433. May count mentions per user. This is from the latest LeetCode weekly contest, and it is, although medium level question, it is easy, but it will test your patience, because the problem statement or the question, when you will read it for the first time, it is pretty large. And you need to extract the useful information, and then you need to go through the examples. If you will see, the constants are pretty less. It is of 100. Okay, so let's get started with the question. What the question tells us: you will be given an integer number of users. So we will be provided number of users. What will it represent? It The total number of users and an array of events. We will be given an array of events. Okay. Next, what they are telling, that events of I can be either of the following two types. Events can be of either of following two types. What is the first type? The first type is message event. Okay, I'll be writing message as MSG. Message events, right? Message events. Each event will be of length 3. Events is an array, right? Events is a list, is an array. So each and every element of that array is also an array. So this is a 2D array. And what will be each and every element of event? It will be consisting of 3 elements. And what are they? The first one will consist of message. Okay. The second one will be a timestamp. What is a timestamp in here? The timestamp will indicate, the event indicates the set of users mentioned in the message at timestamp. Okay. And often ID a token number here. Timestamp means when the event is occurring, when the message is sent, or like that, something like that. If I will, and another one is offline. Events can be of two types. One is of message and the other is of offline. And in message, there will be 3 types. In message, there will be 3 types. The first one is ID. Some ID will be mentioned here. Here some ID will be mentioned. And the second one is all. You will be mentioning all the users in all. And the third one is here. Here means all online users. And in all, we will be considering all users. And in ID, the users stated. It may look a bit like, what I can say, a bit confusing, but when we will go on to the example, it will be clear. So suppose we are going on to the example. The first one is message. The timestamp is 10 and ID 1 and ID 0. Okay, this is my first event, and my second event is offline. Next, it is 11, the timestamp, and 0 is the ID, I guess. Third one is message. 71 here. See, this is my array, and what are they telling us to return? That how many times an users is mentioned. if I will explain this example to you, we have to return an array, and in this example number of users is 2. NOU, I am representing the number of users because I don't want to write number of users again and again, and I am a very much lazy guy, so I'll be using NOU for number of users. You can tell it like readable variable name, whatever. Okay, so number of users is 2, so we have to return an array 0 and 1. So we can see there are 2 users, 2 stickman users. Okay, one name is 0 and one name is 1. Let them Aryan, Priya. Okay, so there are 2 users, 2 happy users we have got, and we are using zero based indexing because we are playing with arrays, right? We need to return how many times they have been mentioned. The first one we are getting that, okay, message event. What is the event? Message type. So message will be sent at the time 10. 10, maybe you can consider any unit 10. At 10, ID 1 and ID 0 will be messaged. Okay, so ID 1 and ID 0, and it is said in the question that for the first time everyone is online. Both Aryan and Priya are online. Both are online. They are Gen Z kids, and at first initially they are online. Okay, so ID 1 and ID 0 at 10 messages are sent. So first, when we are not starting the event, both of them has been mentioned 0 number of times, and at 10 ID 1 and ID 0 are mentioned. Okay, so Aryan has been mentioned once, Priya has been mentioned once. Suppose they're chatting with each other. Okay. Next, offline. Offline means this is the time when this ID number will be getting offline. At 11, Aryan got offline. Okay, Aryan got offline, and when again Aryan will be online? After 60 units of time, he will again be online. So if at 11 he is getting offline, 11 plus 60 is equals to 71. At 71 he will be online again, and so Aryan got offline. Aryan is now offline, Priya is online, and now we are again messaging at the time 71. Here means just mention the users that are online right now. At 71, you can see at 71 are our Aryan who got offline at 11. At 71 he came back online, and now we can say that, okay, at 71 both of our users are online, and you can mention them twice. You can increment both of them. So we got this is the whole scenario. With this example I have explained this beautifully, right? So how can you actually uh, think of the solution? You can directly go to the brute force solution. And what are the things that you need to uh, solve this question? The first thing you will be needing, you can already see that you are using an array that should be returned from the function. So you will be using an array. Suppose I am naming this array as mention array. And another thing, you need to keep track of who is online and who is offline. You need to keep track of that. How will I keep track of that? I will be using some data type that will keep track that after how much time or up till how much time my this specific user will be online or offline. So I will be using a TSA. TSA means timestamp array. This will be telling me when Pariya or when Aryan or when the users will be online or offline. So if I will think of like making the solution from this example only, for the first time, message 10 ID1 ID0. And another thing, you need to be very careful that in every time you are handling with strings, and you need to convert the strings into numbers and then use it. So this thing you need to be very careful. Okay, it is. Next. Okay, for the first time, this is my mention array and this is my timestamp array. For the first time, let's fill mention and timestamp with 0. Why 0? Because when the events are have not been started, my none of the users are mentioned any of the time. So 0 times they have been mentioned. And timestamp array will show 0 because both of like all the users are online right now. So I don't have to, I have to make that when they will come offline. So the first time message, okay, message means 10 at the timestamp 10, the timestamp 10, this is a message, and I will be getting IDs. I have got IDs. IDs means when you will get ID, you don't have to think of all the complexities of all the things that, okay, you will just mention all the IDs that are present here. Here 1 and 0, just increment 1 and 0. You don't have to check if they're online, if they're offline. You don't have to check all that. It is already written here. When you will get the IDs, just increment the okay, yeah, here you can see this can even mention the offline users as well. So you can do it. ID, you have mentioned 1 and 1. Next time offline. Okay, offline. So now I need to play with the time. So offline, my number 0th user, my 0th user is getting offline at 11. So he will be again getting online when? He will be again getting online at 71. So at 0th 71. This array will represent when the users will get online again. And for the next time when you will iterate, you will get message. Okay, I have got message. And what is the time? 71. Okay, 71. Here in the question it is already written that if there are multiple times in a single message event, no, not this one. Okay, if a user goes offline or online or come back online, their status change is processed before handling any message events. So you need to change the status of online or offline before handling any message. And let's see, the timestamp is 71, and we know that at 71 this user got online. You will check that okay, at 71 this one user got online at 0. So this user is already online from the initial stage. So I will increment both of them as 2 and 2. Now how will you approach the whole thing? How will you approach? So how will you code this whole stuff right here? For coding, the coding part, right? So I will be writing the thing message, and I'm not writing it as string again and again. message 10 and id 1, id 0. Next one, offline 11, I sorry 0, and next message 71 here. Okay, so this is my event. So what you will do, you will run a for loop for every event, right? This for loop will iterate on every one of this. Now what you need to extract, what you need to get, suppose you are here, you need to get this one. This one can be of type message or offline. This is like binary, it can be of offline or message. Suppose in string s you are extracting this thing. How you can extract? Like event dot get of 0, you can use that in Java. You are extracting this thing, you are extracting the first one. And when you have extracted, you need to check if it is of message type, then you need to write some code, and if it is of offline type, then you need to write some code. Now what you need to do, is, suppose uh, you need to extract the timestamp as well, that at what time it is happening. For the message, it is written message, you need to check what are the IDs written here, so our basic approach will be going on all the elements, or going on or onto all the events, and checking what is message or what is offline. And if it is offline, if it is message, what we need to do, we need to check that what is here. Here it can be IDs, here it can be all, or here it can be here. For here we need to check how many offline or how many offline or online. For IDs, we need to extract the IDs. How can you extract the IDs? For extracting the IDs, you can run a for loop, and whenever you like ID 1, ID 0, you can, if this whole is of string str, variable stored in string str plus, you can put a space here, and after putting a space, you can like extract this part and this part. You can extract everything, you can split the whole string whenever there is a gap, or whenever there is a white space. And after extracting them, extract the digit, what digit is there. And you can do it using a for loop, but using a for loop, it will be lengthy, because a string is immutable type, and concatenating and making substrings, these are time taking processes. You can use a split function. I will explain this in the coding part. Okay, so what is our approach till now? Till now we have got that this can be of message type, or this can be of offline type. Whenever it will be offline, you need to go to the TSA array, or the timestamp array, and you need to mark that when the user is coming to be online. But one thing you can check, we can do all of that, right? But one thing you will understand, that they have tricked us in a way. What is the trick? The trick is like that. Here you can see everything is arranged in an increasing order of timestamp. In an increasing order of timestamp means, suppose here is an offline. Suppose I have got 3 users, 0, 1, 2, and my events are made in such a way, you need to think of these corner cases. these corner cases are very important, and if you don't think of the corner cases and just you write the code according to the examples that is given to you and you will submit, then you will get a wrong submission, right? And to avoid those, you need to read the question, you need to think of the edge cases on yourself, because to trick us they might not give the good edge case examples. So what we need to think that offline 7, my 0 user is getting offline at 7. Okay, I am messaging at uh, everyone at 11, and I am writing here. Here means, what does here means? All the online users will be done. So suppose if this is at first and this is at second, means message 11 here and offline 7 0. So what my code will do? My code will first get onto this thing. After getting onto this thing, okay, this is message, and here means it will check the timestamp array, and eventually everything will show them 0. That, see, all of them are online now, and it will increment both of them, both 0 1 2 as 1 1 1. But our expected output should be like this. Our expected output should be our 0 ID is getting offline, right? 0 1 2, our 0 ID is getting offline, so it will again come online at 67. So at 11 we can't message our 0th ID customer or 0th ID user, we can't. But in the in our code it will show that we can, because we are not, we have got the timestamp before first, letter first and before the next time. This is not in a sorted order. So here you got another thing to keep in mind, you need to sort it. You need to sort it. But how to sort it? How to sort it means, here you can see we are going from, we will sort it according to the timestamp, and we will sort it according to the timestamp. And if the timestamps are equal, then what to do? Let's take that example also. We will be sorted in increasing order of timestamp. This is absolutely clear. But next time, if the timestamps are equal, then what do you need to do? Suppose we are going to message, we have got 3 users. We are going to message at timestamp 11 to all the online user. Next, offline 7, our 0th user gets offline at 7. In the question statement, it is clearly stated that any changes of online and offline should be processed before mentioning the user at the same time. So here, if this is already sorted in the timestamp manner, because both the timestamp are 7 and 7. What we can do is we will write suppose here is our mention array 0 1 2, and here is our timestamp array 0 1 2. Initially both are 0, and here it shows message, so we will increment both 3 of them. But you need to see that we should not increment the 0th one. The 0th one should be 0 because it is going offline. So here you get another clue that if the timestamps are equal, you need to sort it according to the offline or message. The offline should come first. Why it should come first? Because if in the question it is stated that you should consider the coming offline or going online changes before considering the message. So now, like if of same time, it will go offline first, then you need to consider. Or of same time, suppose it is of 67 and it is of 7, right? So at this time, the 0th user will again come online at 67. So you need to first check that if both are the same, then you can make, because it has already come online. The change is processed first. So you need to sort it according to first the timestamp and then the message type of message or offline. The offline should come first. And like this you can code it. It is the coding part will be lengthy because it is a lengthy question, but I will show you the coding part in some next video. You can see it in my channel. The next video I will show and explain the coding part, because writing the code here will be like, it will like be so complex, and I can show it in the editor of LeetCode, and here I can explain it.